Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My live streaming today is mostly based on the memory techniques for teens. So I'm sure this is going to be really insightful for all those who really want to bring some changes in their upcoming exams and want to have some better results. If you want to know about the memory techniques or you want to know exactly what are the easy hacks that can help you to memorize your studies or your exams, you can excel in your exams, then you need to watch this till the end. So make sure that you are there till the end, and also see to it that you can take the optimum benefit out of this particular session. And also I would request you to forward this particular live streaming or this video to all those who really want to bring some changes in their exam. So let me just share the screen right now. I want to share the screen so that you can understand it in a better way. So the first and foremost thing, what you need to know about, yeah, just a moment. Yeah, this is all about yes. So today I'm going to talk about these things. What is the memory technique all about, or just an intro if you want to know about the intro. This is Mind Your Mind as a small program that I do for students or for children who want to bring some changes in their exams, like they want to excel in their exams. So if you want to have anything for your memory purpose, you want to know more about memory techniques and all that, you can let me know so that we can have a session on all these. So to talk about the intro right now, without going much forward into all these things, I don't want to waste more time. So to know more about this, what is the memory, or what exactly happens? What are the languages of memory or mind, or all that things we will be discussing here? The first and foremost thing we should understand is we perceive things using five sense organs. We all know that we use our eyes to see, and we also hear, we get senses from the tongue by tasting, touching, and all that. We know that five sense organs, smelling, touching, hearing, and seeing, are all that five senses. So what happens is, when you perceive things, or when you receive any information, most of the information gets deleted from the mind, because almost 2 billion information our mind is able to accept, but all that things can be deleted because they're not necessary. Only that is necessary, we can retain things now. Now what are those things which are important and what are not important? This has to be decided by the mind. This is the brain is deciding that what is important, what is not. So we have to identify now, we have to make our mind realize that this is important, these things are important for me, because mind cannot understand what is reality and what is not, what is abstract and what is reality. Mind is not able to understand. Mind can see the pictures. So it is only about the language of the mind that we need to understand initially to make the things very clear and easy. Now, five sense organs are very important for us, but in that, visual or seeing and hearing and touching, these three organs or these three senses play a pivotal role in having more of, the to retain more things or get memory easily. What happens now about the state of mind? Recalling is all about the state of mind that you have. If you have a positive state, or if you are always energetic, or you're feeling lively, at that particular point, whatever you learn, it can be retained. The only thing is, we need to have always a positive channelizing mind so that we can retain things in a better way. So always having a kind of gloomy face or environment and feeling not interested, or you feel that you feel a kind of hatred towards one particular subject, then you're not able to sit and recall things. It is not possible. So it is very, very important to have a better positive state of mind. And for that, I'm going to give you some tips also at the end, what you need to do to have that particular system. The facts have, and also I would like to tell about the reticular activating system. Here, this is a part of the brain near the stem of the brain, just behind here. You have a stem of the brain, and there is some particular part called RAS or reticular activating system. This particular part, what does it help, how does it help us? It is making us understand what is important, and then the rest of the things that are not important are blurred, or it becomes something illusionary, or you don't feel like getting those things back again. So it is all about this reticular activating system that we need to understand and give a message that this is important. So when you say it is important, when you make this RAS feel that this particular topic is important, this concept is important, then it can retain things very easily. So to talk about the facts now, I don't want to go in detail about all these stuff. Let me tell you about the facts. The mind has a language. Okay, so what is the mind's language here? As I told you, mind is not able to understand or differentiate what is reality and what is not. It can understand the language of visuals, auditory, and kinesthetic. That is nothing but that what you see, what you hear, and what you touch and feel, and emotions and all that stuff. So the language of mind is just that. You only need to inculcate or activate all these three sense organs, and then you're able to get that particular. I mean, it's like a hack. You can easily get memory or all that whatever you want to retain things. So what is, now you may be thinking that okay, my one of my classmates is scoring really well. He has a very strong brain. Okay, do you feel that? If that is there, let me know in the comment section whether you have such particular kind of classmates or somebody who does this. If that is there, it happens that it's a myth. I can say that it is a myth because there is nothing called strong or weak mind or strong or weak memory. It's all about trained and untrained memory. What we need to do is just train our minds, train our brain, and that's it. There you go. Don't you think it's easy? There's nothing called weak and strong memory. Strong memory is just a myth. Okay, so we can anytime train our memory, and we can retain things or we can recall things easily when we train. The third thing what I want to say is, whatever you focus, it is expanding. I can show you with an example also. Imagine now we are talking something about buying a house or buying a car or some kind of maybe a mobile or something that we want to buy. And we are discussing that at home, that I want to buy this model or the mobile which is of this model. Now imagine when you go out, wherever you go, you feel you can see those mobiles again and again, over and over again. You can see those mobiles. It may be the flex or some banners or some ads, or it may be somebody who is holding it. But the thing is, until and unless we have focused, we have not got that particular images in front of us. We never used to focus, and we never used to take care about all that things. But when we start focusing on one particular commodity or one particular thing, it gets expanded. That's how we often see that frequently in and around us. Right? If you want to buy a car, one particular brand you want to see, you keep seeing that often. You encounter them often. So it's all about, you can, it's not that there are people who are using it. Now people are using all this and it has become a trend. No, actually people were using it, but we have not focused. Now when we are planning to buy that particular commodity, then only we feel like, okay, yes, I can see that everywhere. Okay, that's the thing. Now, what is, okay, so mind actually decides what is important and what is not based on the type of information that we give. Okay, if it is humorous or it is very interesting, the mind feels it is important, and that's how it is able to give a message to the brain that this is very important and you have to keep that in the mind always. Okay, so mind doesn't understand anything. Only we have to decide actually what, based on the VAK, as I told you, visuals, auditory, and kinesthetic messages that we give to our mind decides and tells us, okay, this is important for you. Now, what happens when the energy flows? The focus grows. As I told you, it's all about our state of mind that matters. When you are really energetic, you are really positive, and you want to do something, then even the focus also grows, and you are able to focus really well. You're able to master all that what you're doing right now. Okay, so it happens all because of the energy that you have. In order to have that energy, some kind of meditation can help you a lot in all these matters. So instead of having a gloomy environment, or you are very uninterested, you don't want to sit in one place, or you're fidgety, and at that particular time you're sitting and reading something which is not important for you, or you feel it's not important, and you are sitting there, that particular system will not work. The only thing what you need to do is have that energy in you. Bring that energy. And to bring that energy, you have some meditations, you have some pranayamas, or you have some yoga exercises, physical exercises, or some games, or anything can happen. And once you have that energy, then only you are able to focus on one particular topic or one particular concept that you're learning about. And another thing is, when you start training your mind can accept and also get trained. Start with the small skills. You need not have long, big skills, but you can start with very small skills. Once you start that, you are able to identify how changes can happen very rapidly. Now, again, the mind needs something which is interesting, something which is emotionally driven. Only when it is emotionally you are connected or associated with your emotions, it gets easily, you get in sync with your thoughts, with your emotions, with humor, something which is very interesting, funny, ridiculous, and all that stuff. And this can have a long-term memory, or this helps to have get into long-term memory. Okay, that's what we have to identify things. Now, yeah. So this is about the facts. Now, what are the advantages of having a good memory? Of course, we all know it saves time. You have no much stress when you memorize. Usually what happens, when we were young, we were not often having all these memory techniques and all that stuff in the schools also, nor at home. We didn't get this environment when we were young. But when usually what happens is it really makes our learning fun when you know about our techniques. I wish I would know about all these things earlier, and I feel that yes, if this was there, I would have done something else, or I would have gone somewhere else, reached to another maybe somewhere on the top. But if it's all right, I can still manage. I'm still learning, and I can still do certain things, right? So I can help at least parents and students who can come up, and at least in their very young age, they can implement all these things and bring that changes in your life. If not me, somebody else would do it. Okay, so there's no stress, it's fun learning, it saves time, and also you can retain things for a long term or for a long period. These are some of the advantages that we have. Okay, so I would like to share here 4 techniques which can help you in your imagine your curriculum, or we can help that contents to be memorized very easily. So this is one of the methods that we have here. Yeah, the first thing is about the castle method. Castle method is nothing but small things that you want to imagine, you want to memorize. What are the things that you want to get from the market? Okay, so imagine we used to write down all the list of things that we have that we want before going to the market usually. But now you can do so many other things because we have been taught only one method, and that is rote method of learning. What is rote method? Rote is nothing but ROTE. Rote method is nothing but repetition of all these concepts. And if I tell you about Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, what were you doing and when we were young or when we were in the nursery? People, teachers used to tell something and we used to bunk up, or we used to repeat that over and over again. Now, Twinkle Twinkle, we used to use our hands, we used to listen to what our ma'am was telling, and then we used to have that actions and all that stuff, and that's how we used to repeat that, and the senses were used. Okay, but this method cannot be applicable when you're learning about the I can say, if you're learning about the paragraphs, you want to learn paragraphs or you want to learn big things, then it's not possible. It's simply not possible for you to learn big paras through rote method, because mugging up or by heart or memorizing just by talking or just by saying loud, it's not going to work. So what is that method now? If I tell you about rhymes, what happens is we used to use that twinkle, twinkle, little stars in the, like as if you're singing a song. No rhymes, we were singing in that way, and also some actions were done, like a diamond in the sky and all that things. And the child is able to understand little bit, and we are able to retain that for a long time. But when it comes to our paragraphs, or when the child grows, it's very difficult, right? And for that, we have this castle method. Castle method is used for small things that you want to remember. For example, if you want to remember the list of things, now what you want to get from the market. So what I do is, if I want maida, I visualize as if a maida is placed near the doorstep of a castle. A castle, we have to imagine a castle. How does a castle look like? And then we have to place that maida, a bowl of maida, somewhere in the front near the main door. Okay, main door, we have in the castle, we have maida, and as and when we enter, we open the door, we see in the lobby or maybe a sofa. On the sofa, there are two eggs talking to each other, and you can visualize that, okay, two eggs are there. And then you can see on the maybe a TV shelf or somewhere, you have some kind of maybe a small cupboard or any place where you have that a space area. You are finding maybe what do I say, it is some pepper, okay, or chocolate powder or something like that. You want to prepare a cake and all that, so you are placing that, and suddenly it is falling down, or it's all that the powder is fallen down. So what happens, you can imagine now, what you need is maida, two eggs, as in when you enter, you can find two eggs sitting in the sofa, and there chocolate powder is falling down, cocoa powder is falling down. And then you go into the kitchen, there you find beans, vegetables, veggies. Okay, so in that you have two beans fighting with each other, all that, something very creative, something unrealistic. And now when you think of that, you are able to retain things in a better way. Okay, when you go to the market, you can now find out what are the things you need. Okay, I need maida first, and then when I go into the lobby, I can find two eggs. Okay, I need two eggs. And then what comes? Oh, okay, something is falling down. Yes, there I can find a cocoa powder. Yeah. And then you want baking soda or baking powder. So whatever you want, some small things, what you want to buy, these things you can visualize in a house, like what are the things laid there in the house. As if in the bedroom, there are two friends sleeping, radish and carrot. Okay, now you can imagine two things sleeping there, radish, carrot, and also beans. Friends are also fighting there. So you can visualize that and become more creative. Once you do that, it's easily, you can link that particular thing and you can get those from the market as well. So this is all about the castle method. Now, what about the rhyme method? Rhyme method is nothing but, also some of them say it is a peg method. So what is that? Here we have to give at least, I'm sharing only 10 things here about a rhyme method or peg method. It is all about rhyming the things with uh, the things, usually what happens is we are not able to understand, we are not able to associate any particular image in the paragraphs that we are learning. Okay, now imagine any particular history. If we are learning about a history, one answer we are learning, we are not able to visualize things in that way very easily, right? So for that, what we need to do is take out some of the keywords in each section or in each point. We are writing all that answers in the point wise, right? Most of us. So points, you're supposed to take any one particular keyword and connect that with, maybe sometimes the chronology will not be, you don't know the chronology, you don't know how to do it, all that stuff will be there. So for that, what we need to do, take out a keyword out of one particular concept or one particular answer or topic, and then you have to link with these rhyme or the peg method. So I'm going to tell you what are those peg things or what are those rhyming things. Now when I say one doesn't have a picture, right? I mean, you can understand that it is a numerical one, but it is not interesting. You tend to forget it very easily. It has nothing which is associated, or you don't have anything that is linking with one. So when you say one and something rhyming and you have a picture around it, it becomes easy. One sun. Is it not rhyming now? One sun. Sun is, we are able to see, we are able to understand, we know the characteristics, what happens when the sun is glowing, or what happens when the setting, or what is the color of the sun, or how it will melt things, when it focuses, what happens when we focus, when we use sunlight and use a magnifying lens, and in the paper, what happens, the paper starts to burn. So all these things, when you think of, what is the power of the sunlight. Okay, so we are able to understand that. So one is nothing but sun. I can write it down here if you want. I can create that mind map right away so that it will be easier for you as well. Okay, so I can create a subtopic here in this. Yeah, and then we can proceed now here with the things here. Okay, just a moment. It's yeah. So one is sun. Next comes two. What is the rhyming word for two that we can get? Two is nothing but shoe, right? It sounds similar. Two is nothing but shoe. I'm going to tell you how it works now. Number three is tree. And number four, what can you apply here? Yeah, it can be door. Yes. And number five, it could be wife. Or knife also, anything. Okay, you can say that. Yeah. And number six, I would call it wicks. Okay. Number seven, is heaven. So we can visualize what is heaven. Okay, we can feel that what heaven is. We can feel the smell of that wicks, right? And you know what happens with knife, and you know who is a wife. So that what happens is now we are able to get a picture out of it. Okay, now eight is plate. You can do it anything that you wish to, like if you need not follow the same thing here, because it's all about your mind. You can create it and you do it whatever you want. So all that doesn't matter at all. Now I was talking about nine is nothing but wine. Okay, you know what a wine looks like. Okay, I'm sure nobody might have tasted it, but still 10. 10. So these are all the methods or the rhyme method, which is also called as a peg method. Okay, you can use it as peg method also here. So this can be really helpful. It can go on 11. It can go on. Okay, it can go on. Maybe you can call it as lemon. 12, you can call it as shelf or something like that. You can do it any number of things. You can place it and do. Now what happens is, when you associate something here, for example, now if I say there is something called if I have some pointers, now you have to create those keywords in each of the answers. Now how will you associate that with this? For example, I have a tree or maybe a paper or something, if you have some kind of topics that which are related to your English things, you can use the passages also in that same term. Use those keywords and associate it with the things here. Now, as if you have, number one is you have a kerchief. You are taking that kerchief as a keyword. And now imagine as if you are trying to wrap the sun or trying to cover the sun using the kerchief. Something unrealistic, something very, very interesting, some kind of humorous, or some that makes you laugh, that makes you feel funny. Now, when you imagine that, you feel okay, now this is something interesting and you won't forget it. Kerchief is there as a keyword, and then you're trying to cover that whole sun along with that small kerchief. You're struggling to do that. Okay, so you can imagine that. And second is shoe. When it happens, you can take one, maybe elephant or something. You are trying to take a keyword as an elephant and trying to fit in the elephant with a shoe, a small shoe, or trying to create a big shoe or a large enormous sized shoes for the elephant. Okay, and three, gold. For example, I'm just telling you randomly whatever I'm getting the words like. Now three is nothing but gold. Imagine, and the gold, you are feeling that tree is filled with gold. It's giving fruits of gold. So in that way, you can try to visualize and try to engage these things, and this becomes very easy. Okay, this is all about rhyme or peg method. Now comes the story method. What is the story method? If you have a small, I can give you a sheet of paper also in case you are connecting with me. I can give you the PDF also, wherein we share with those people who are associating with our the long-term courses also. We have given those PDFs wherein we are sharing the sheets and giving them some questions or giving them some activities wherein they do all the story method by themselves. A set of pictures or set of words, and you create a story out of it. Okay, there was a blue colored lake, and I saw a car passing by, and in the car there was a dog, and dog was feeling thirsty. He's going to the lake and finding that a frog came by, and then so all these are connected and linked. When you start linking one after the other, you can easily create all that as a story. You are able to write that during exams. Now, very often what happens is, during the exams, we tend to forget all these concepts. It's all because our state of mind is not always calm during the time of exams. But during the rest of the time, when you're just coming out of the examination hall, it's your state of mind is very calm and soothing, and then automatically you feel okay, yes, I had that in my mind and somehow I couldn't recall. It's because of this. So if you create this kind of link, it is becoming very easy, and it is stress free. That makes your helps you to retain things better. Okay, this is this all about story method. Now, what is SQ3R? What is SQ3R method? Does anybody know about all this now? I'm sure this is a new thing that you are talking about, or I'm talking about, and you feel that yes, there are so many things that you can learn from here. Okay, S is nothing but survey. Q is questions, and next you have three R, three kinds of R. Okay, so what is that? We have to identify now what is a survey method. Survey is nothing but you are trying to only see what is in that particular content, or you are only going through what is there in that particular content. You're not going to do anything else, just going on seeing what is it, going on seeing, wide open your eyes and see what is it. You're just going on looking into the side headings, and just seeing the main important things, what is there in that whole concept. Now you're training your mind by doing this. You're training your mind to see that okay, now you are giving some kind of chunks in between. So chunking is nothing but giving small, small bits of information, because everything you grab together, it's like a puzzle pieces which is scattered everywhere. No pattern, no structure, nothing. But when you start seeing that, initially your mind is getting an intimation that okay, these are some of the things that I have to learn. It's getting a hint, a small hint. Next is questioning, or create form of questions. Okay, who created this, or who invented this? What kind of studies are there in this particular topic? What is the topic that I have to learn about? Or when did this event occur? So try to only focus on small, small bits of information that you can get out of this particular concept, or that particular the lesson that you're talking about. Next comes three R's. And what is that three R? I'll just, okay, if you want, I can create that mind map here as well to make you understand very clearly what it is. The first thing is about the survey. Okay. The second is about questioning. Questions. You can ask what are the important things here that I have to learn? Who invented, or who is the person responsible for this particular collapse, or who defeated whom, and all that stuff. You can, in the history also, what you can find. Okay, and then you have these three questions, three R's, I mean to say. It is nothing but, first is just read. Don't understand the things. You don't have to understand it at all. Okay, next, close your book and try to recall whatever you have learned. You need not be very accurate. It's all right. It's all right. And then start reviewing it. Okay, now what happens is, you read, recall, and then review whether whatever you have read is right or wrong. Again, go and read, recall, and review. This can create lot of changes, and you're trying to train your mind to make things easier. Things get easier when you do this. This is what you have to do. Okay, if you want it, you can take a screenshot of this and see what else you can do out of this method. So SQ3R method is nothing but survey, question, read, recall, and review. Okay, this is what we need to do. I hope you have understood the techniques here. I know it's getting too late, but let me just end up having small tips that I want to give you to share with you before leaving, or before concluding this particular topic. So it's nothing but the tips that I want to share here. Okay. There's nothing but exercise, or exercising for concentration. For concentration, what are the things that you need to do to enhance your concentration? Have some memory games, at least 1 hour or half an hour. Some brain exercises that can happen using both your brain hemisphere should be used. For example, now you want to do this. We usually do this with our parents also, and children also, when we are using our cognitive skills, and also enhancing the memory. what we do is ask them to give some brain exercises. So this is nothing but the brain exercise where you use both your hemispheres of the brain. Okay, for example, this is the bird and this is a gun. So you're shooting the bird, shoot the bird. Now again, shift it, shoot the bird, shoot the bird, shoot the bird. Okay, this is all about the memory game. There are other things also, tapping your head and rubbing your tummy simultaneously. Now, what happens is you are using, again, change this, tapping your head and rubbing the rubbing your tummy. Now, this is all about brain exercises that can help really well, and the child is able to focus and concentrate better. So use that. Prayers are the foremost, I would say, because prayers give us a lot of meditation and help us memorize things in a better way. If you are really concentrating and doing better in your prayers, then you need not have any other exercises, because I firmly believe that once you get into your prayers concentrating really well, it becomes very easy, and you can retain things in a better way, because it's a kind of meditation that we have. Concentrate again in your hobbies. If you are into hobbies, maybe drawing, art, you can do it, or craft, DIYs, because this is something that soothes your mind. And once your mind is relaxed, then you can, as I told you, this is just a state of mind that you have to consider. Once your hobbies, you start doing your hobbies, maybe sometimes writing becomes a hobby, you can just start writing a diary and then come and sit and read here. This, you will be in a very good mood. And once that is done, once your state of mind is in sync with your body, then automatically whatever you read, you are able to understand it better. Now, these are some of the exercises that I have here. These are some of the small three exercises that I want to give you. The first thing is, without blinking your eyes, just keep open your eyes for at least 10 minutes. I know it is hard, but concentrate only on your eyesight or your eyes or your vision. Now, when you do that, this is a small exercise that helps you to concentrate or to help you focus on the things. Okay, so when you start doing that, it becomes very, I know it is hard initially, but start with smaller counts or smaller, maybe the span, and then you can exceed that and then prolong it for a longer time. Okay, 10 minutes, you can wait up to 10 minutes without blinking. Even stretching the hands like this or like this for 10 minutes, keeping it like this openly without, you can stretch your fingers and place it here. And this also is really helpful for concentration and focus. Next comes the holy scriptures or hymns or some kind of music. If you are really interested into, you can listen to soothing. I'm not telling you that you should have harsh sound and loud music. No, very mild and soft, or some kind of hymns or holy scriptures, or you want to recite. So these things can be done, because this again soothes your mind. And just go and see some, if you feel like you are into, maybe you have natural interest into nature, naturally you are inclined towards nature, then you can go and just go and see the surroundings around you or the greenery around you, and then come back, sit here and start studying, because this is all about how you train your mind, how it becomes important, how the mind feels that this is important for you to learn. So this is all about memory and the techniques that I want to share with you here. And this will really create a lot of impact. I'm sure it will create a lot of impact in your child's education. Or if you're a student, you're learning this, then again, I'm telling you that this will create a lot of impact in your life as well. So if you've liked this particular video, do share it with your friends, and also make sure that this will reach out to more students or children who really are struggling to memorize or struggling with their academics. If you feel that this can help them, do share it with people around you. Okay, now goodbye for now. Thank you for joining. Assalamu alaikum.